Hello everybody, Aero here, and today we are doing Ask Aero episode 7 and 8. If you're watching Call of Duty in the background, I sincerely do apologize. I had to get this gameplay in a rush. And just to address something really quick before we get into this, I don't have time to make videos a lot anymore. I only have pretty much Saturday and Sunday. I used to have like, a whole week. Because I do work full time, so if I don't meet deadlines and I don't get videos out on time, that's why. Don't get mad at me. I don't have nearly as much time as I used to anymore, so I don't really understand that, because usually when you're supposed to get off school, you're supposed to have more time, and that's not what's going on. Okay. Aero, I know there are some good stuff in Forza Horizons, but what is there that you are hoping to be in it, and what is lacking? Example, not enough cars, etc., etc. Oh, I'm loving the vids. Keep going. I'm trying not to pay attention to Forza Horizons. I do that with games that I'm looking. I already know I'm going to buy. I already know I'm interested in, so I don't. Everything's a surprise to me. Basically, what I think needs to be fixed, or what there needs to be more of, is more cars. I want to see a trailer with some customization. If you're not going to do as many cars, do some different mods. Take from Need for Speed Shift. You have some of the best customization in any game, period. If we can have a game with Forza physics and Need for Speed customization, with Forza's livery editor and all that wrapped into one, maybe with some TDU2, the shops and the way that works, it'll be a perfect game. What I like in it so far, I like that the physics are from Forza. They're not arcadey. I'm sure there will be like an option between like simulation physics and arcade physics. I like the graphics. The graphics look nice. I like the environment, but again, I'm gonna wait till the game comes out. I'm gonna review it when it comes out, and we'll cover that. I have a couple questions about tuning and upgrading. I was wondering if there's a must-way for drifting good, and if you know what it is, could you tell me? So I don't understand how that's about tuning and upgrading, but if your question is is there a way to upgrade a car for drifting? No, there really isn't. Just stay away from race slicks and drag slicks. Try to have a wider tire on the back than the front. No all-wheel drive, of course, unless that's your thing, but you know how I feel about that. No positive camber, and that's it. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. As per the way to do it, no, you just drift however you want to drift. Just don't use a lot of people think that shifting in reverse is a good idea to get the tires loose. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, that's basically it. Hey Aero, I want to see if drifting to GT5 and Forza 4 is similar. I got GT5 and I'm getting Xbox soon with Forza 4. Also, if it's not similar in any way, which is easier to get into, Forza 4 or GT5? Okay, fanboys on both sides, I want you to calm down while I answer this. I've drifted in both games. GT5 is harder. It's not much harder. If you use Forza 4 with simulation steering, it's about the same. I want to say that Forza 4 with sim steering is a bit trickier, but it's not. I would say GT5's harder because it's harder to, in Forza it's really hard to get your cars to have the power you want, and the tires you want on them. In Gran Turismo it's kind of just like, you have to figure it out. That's my Twitter. But you have to figure it out. You can't adjust the width of your tires. A lot of cars are really hard to get into a good power. Like, I know some of the little the front drive Hondas, you can only get like another 150 horsepower out of the stock engine, even if you turbo it. It's just like the fuck. But even if you want to get an Xbox soon for Forza, that's your opinion. But like GT5 is good in itself. But if you use simulation steering, you should have no problem transitioning into Forza 4. Hey Aero, thanks for answering my question. I dropped the positive camber down to negative camber like you suggested, and I'm loving it. It is so nice. Big boy! Anyway, my question is pretty simple. If you got to travel across Japan using toges and whatnot, but you weren't allowed a radio or iPod, and you could only listen to the engine, what would you bring? I would bring an 8086 with race exhaust. You fucking stole my answer, is what you did. It's so good, but I know you like rotaries. I'd like to see what you'd take. Thanks, your pal. Something. I would take an N2 886, ones that rev up to about 10, 11, 12,000 RPM. If not, something with a K20 in it, an S2000, FD. Fuck off. I didn't bother to turn my phone on silent. An FDRX7, maybe something with a 4-rotor, though that may be hard to drive. God, 2JZ, anything with the 2JZ in it. RB Power, SR20. But yeah, if I had to pick, I would agree with you and say that, fuck off. I would say, for sure, an N2 86 with a high RPM. Ugh, even like a Honda with a high RPM. I just love high RPM 4-cylinders. I know there's better sounding engines out there, but to me, right now, at least at this moment, so probably between the 86 or like a bored out S2000. Oh, here's a big one. I was thinking maybe you should review the sort of unspoken and unwritten rules that most people don't seem to pick up in drift lobbies of any sort in Forza. Yeah, that's you're not kidding. Just basics, so maybe some people can get some sense. Well, that's not a question. Yeah, it's not a question. What sort of unwritten rules do you yourself follow in drift lobbies? Are there any ridiculous ones you see or hear people complain about, or is it all cut and dry basics? Basically, in a nutshell, the only thing to do in drift lobbies is to try not to get too close. I break that rule all the time, but some people get really uncomfortable when you get too close in tandem, even if you're not going to hit them, just because they're maybe a little bit more points oriented. Don't kick anybody for winning. That's just a fucking dick move. Somebody wins, just deal with it. And if you have a problem with it, you leave the lobby. Don't get mad at somebody else for being better than you. Don't finish the race unless like more than 50-60% or 75% of the field is at the line. You know, don't intentionally hit people. Don't race the track. Try to stay quiet, I guess, when you're drifting. I don't know. I think that's about it. I'm probably gonna think of a lot more over the course of these next couple hours, but I'll try. Dear Aero, I was watching your S14 Build It Drift It video. Well, thank you. And like you said, you don't need a tune to drift cars at first. I didn't believe you, so like any normal person, I tried a car without a tune, and it worked. Thanks a lot. You've helped me become a way better drifter. P.S. When is the next Build It Drift It Kill It coming out? A lot of people ask me like, oh, release this video. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to touch on that. I have a set schedule for videos. Monday is Ask Aero. Tuesday is an open slot. I post for Saints Row when I don't have anything, but if I have something, I'll toss Saints Row to the side. Wednesday is personal projects, with the exception of last week, because or this week I guess, or last week, yeah, because some stuff got fucked up. Thursday is my Need for Speed day, which I may be using Tuesday and Thursday now, because you guys really seem, You guys may really seem to like that. Friday's Build a Drift to Kill It, mostly because if I cranked out like 2-3 episodes, I'm sure it would get boring. It would get boring for me, at least. So I'm trying to keep like once a week. As per your statement, it's not really a question. I don't say shit for nothing. I don't say that just to get you guys off my back so I don't have to make you guys tunes or whatever. Like, I'm telling you, I did Forza 2. Only when I joined Smoke and Flow I started tuning. Yeah. What is your personal favorite car game? I would say, considering nostalgia, how good the game is, probably I would say the Gran Turismo series. If I had to pick one specific game, I'd say 3, mostly because it's what I've been through with the game, and it's more nostalgia. But F-Zero X is good too. I know it's more kind of like a racing, not a car game, but Forza 4 is my favorite of the series so far. So it's a 3-way tie for me. No, 2-way. Wait. Yeah, 3-way. Forza 4, Gran Turismo 3, and Mario Kart 64. Those are my 3 favorite racing games out there right now. Need for Speed in that is close, but nothing's gonna beat the nostalgia and the realism and Aero, I've been watching your videos for a while now. I really like to drift, but I don't really have any time or money for a brand new Xbox. However, I am a PC gamer, and do you have a nice PC setup? And do have a nice PC setup. Is there any Forza equivalents for PC that you can recommend? No, mostly because that pretty much there's a lot of other games for PC that are much better than Forza. Live for Speed is one I hear good things about. The mechanical customization, as in like your spacers and your wheels, your camber, I hear really good things about that. R Factor is very moddable. I used to drift on that with a keyboard. You know, there's mods so you can get the Gunside Toge from Best Motoring. You can get the Akina Mountain from Initial D. The game is infinitely moddable. And if you're not more towards the drifting and you want something for racing, go for iRacing. Again, those 3 games I hear about again and again and again and again. So I'd have to recommend those 3. LFS I think has better physics than R Factor, I heard, but R Factor is more moddable. You can pretty much get any car that you can think of. So a question last week inspired me to ask this, but it will be the opposite. If you had to bang one of the next 3 celebs, who would it be? Betty White, Marilyn Manson, or Joan Rivers? Well, that's kind of obvious. Betty White's basically a walking corpse, and I don't really want to sound rude, but Marilyn Manson is very feminine male, but at the end of the day, he's got a wiener. Joan Rivers is really the only option I see there. Have fun with this one. There's not one right answer. Keep up the vids. So I'm glad some people are kind of fucked up like I am. Isn't the all-wheel drive drifting called Gymkhana? And it was kind of butchered, the spelling, but whatever, not a big deal. No, I'm actually just gonna read what I wrote. I replied to somebody on Facebook who asked about, I think it might have been you, I'm not sure, but they asked me a similar question. So my reply was no. Gymkhana is more of a racing time attack set across a set course. It's more like rally, really. Camblog just bastardized the term. All-wheel drive drifting is drifting, I guess. Most just call it power sliding just because of the power of the car is doing all the work. So basically that's, you know, my take on that. Video attachment is a beat that my friend made for one of your videos, yada yada yada. So I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to keep that there, just so I know to use that if I need the beats. Yeah, but I don't know why I just stopped thinking there. But yeah, Gymkhana. Go look up some real Gymkhana videos, not Ken Block Gymkhana, and you'll see what I mean. Way to go on reaching 5,000 subs. Thank you, man. Yeah, if you guys didn't realize, I think earlier this morning I did hit 5,000 subscribers. I'm not one to do things on milestones, so I don't really. Oh, Thursday morning. I'm not really one to do things. You know, for milestones. Some people do giveaways. I don't really do that because I find like it's not legitimate. I know you guys like free shit, but you know, sometimes giveaways bring in people, and then there's dead subs and da 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 da. So maybe I'll just do another week of Build a Drift to Kill It every day. Don't hold me to that because I don't know if I'm going to stick to my promise. It's pretty big seeing that I've been around since 300. Yeah, you have. You've been around a long time. You may be the biggest drifter on YouTube, but a few people I know think that Rev Looney's Design Him to Slide Him is better than all your series. I actually do know Rev Looney. He used to live stream VFD. You know, he's part of the drifting community. He got the idea from me. I believe he asked me via personal message if he can do something similar, and you know, it stemmed from me. I think the only difference is that I don't think he features the tuning in the video, and I don't think that he does like private lobbies. To me, it's just easy. You know, people have been asking me to do that and do tandem, but to me, it's just easier to go online to do it. I don't like points drifting, and that's obvious. I've mentioned this 100 times, but it's easier just to go around a track, and I like to just drive around tracks. Sometimes sections do get boring. It's easier to feel like the whole car setup if you have a variety of different kinds of turns. You know, it's easier just to get in a lobby and, you know, start drifting into points than in a tandem. Sometimes the people who take in a tandem lobby won't be very good, so then you have to distance yourself anyway. So it's kind of fucked up, but that is what his series has over me. So if you want to see a similar series to Build a Drift to Kill It, and it's more of a tandem lobby oriented, go check out Rev This is the last one. Hey, my name is, I don't know if he wants me to say his name aloud, but I'm also kind of high five. Yeah, buddy. And I'm a huge fan of you and your videos. Anyway, my question is, should I purchase Forza 4? I've been playing since Forza 1, but when Forza 4 came out, I never really thought it was worth buying since it's very similar to Forza 3. However, I've been getting back into Forza games lately. Should I buy it, or should I wait till Forza Horizon or Forza 5, even if it was announced? Also, are you going to get the new Need for Speed Most Wanted when it comes out? Thanks. I'd suggest getting Forza 4, basically it's because it takes Forza 3, tweaks the physics a little bit. Obviously, they're putting all their focus on this game now, all their DLC. I'd wait, maybe if you already don't have it, wait till the complete edition comes out, maybe towards more September, which will probably have all the DLC in it. That way you won't have to buy, you know, a season pass or whatever to catch up on all the DLC that you missed. Everyone who's playing the game is now on Forza 4, so, you know, you're going to meet a lot more new people there. The storefront's refined. Their career is a bit better, even though Forza has a really shitty single-player career. You know, there's some better cars in it, but, like, I prefer it. But if you don't want to drop the 60 bone, wait until the Ultimate Package comes out, because I think they usually take 20 bucks off that price anyway. Am I going to get the new Need for Speed Most Wanted game? No, I'm not. I liked Need for Speed Most Wanted. It was my favorite Need for Speed game, but the one they're coming out is basically what they're doing is they're reviving the name to make money, and it's basically all it is fucking God. All it is a Burnout game, but with Burnout scratched off and Need for Speed Most Wanted written on it. I realized that since I played the most recent Need for Speed game, which was just like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit or whatever. So all they're doing now is just fucking reviving the names of the good games, and you know, taking all of Burnout's ideas. So it's not a game I plan on buying. Hey, I heard you talking about some forums in one of your videos. I was wondering if you can give me a link to these forums or some other forum. I'm trying to get more involved with Forza community now that I am bored with the Call of Duty community and plan on making my own Forza videos soon. Thanks and keep up the good work. Well, the link to it is I'm going to send it to you in a message, and I'm going to say it out loud because I'm sure some other people want to know. It's www.forzamotorsport.net. And then through there, you just go to community, forums, and some tabs at the top. So I really feel awkward from your username, sir or ma'am. I don't know. It's just, I hope you really know who you are, because this is really strange. But they say, could you explain when you should get a certain performance upgrades and why when building your drift car? I'm not really sure how to interpret that question. But usually, you know, you get the same upgrades every time except for the engine. You know, tires are different because sometimes you need more grip, sometimes you need less. Usually I look at the weight, and then I look at and I make sure I know what size I have tires in the rear, and then I know what I kind of judge about off that to how much power I'll need to have. So I don't really know. If you can send in another one next week with it send a bit clearer, but I'm not really sure what you mean. Which tires are best for drifting? There is no such thing as the best tire for drifting. Some cars do better with sport tires, some cars better do with street tires, some cars are better with stock tires. The only things I can suggest to you is to not use race tires. It is a stupid idea. And do not use drag tires. It's an even worse idea. I know some people are going to comment saying, yeah, I can drift with drag tires, I can drift with race tires. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying it's fucking stupid. Don't do it. This one's a big one. Hey Aero, I need some help, and the reason I'm not just saying this as my own kind of personal question is I bet will help a lot of other people. I'm a wheel driver, and in driving manual, you have a flat pedal gearbox. This is true. And I kind of like that we presented 5-pedal gearbox reminds me of Top Gear. Which I like and dislike. But anyway, I consider myself a good drifter, but I have trouble explaining to my little brother why manual is absolutely necessary while drifting. Try to explain how the gears will change when it hits the red line, therefore your car will cycle gears too fast.
He was on board for a bit, but he realized he couldn't do it. He went back to auto. Worst part is he goes online in my signature car, a PI 607 Mazda RX-7, and just butchers the drifts because of the automatic. I'm getting kicked sometimes instantly because people think it's him. Anyway, I was wondering if you can help me explain why it's important, or tell me a way I can get him to use manual. I've tried a lot of other things, doesn't work. Sorry about these math questions. I'm still in school mode and writing paragraphs. I hope this gets answered. Thanks, dog bro. And what on the wires? It's some action brewing in the Beacon Hills area. You're funny. You're a funny guy. Basically, you know, you kind of said it already. If you're in auto and, like, say you're in 3rd gear and then you go to drift and then you're revving the engine up, especially in a rotary, that usually I find rotaries I'm usually right on the red line all the time. It'll shift in a 4th and then you won't have as much power and the car will go bleh and kind of straighten itself out. It seems that your brother does understand, because if he grasped the concept, then, you know, I'm assuming he's not completely stupid. He's just lazy and doesn't want to learn how to do it properly. So kind of just, you may want to just make him a copy of your car, like save your tune and then just like copy it over and say, okay, this one's yours. And just fuck with the gears a little bit. Maybe tighten up the gear or lengthen the gears. So like all he needs to do is really shift in 3rd gear and stay there. Maybe that will help him out a little bit, but I don't think it's because he doesn't understand. I think it's just because he doesn't feel like doing it. Yeah, no, the only real way you can drift is in manual. I know some people that do drift in automatic, but I don't understand it. If you really want to confuse them, tell me use manual with clutch. That's that's hard. But I hope I cleared it up. If not, then feel free to send another one next week. Hi Aero, me again. I know you play a lot of Forza and like racing cars and cars in general, so I assume you watch Top Gear. Yay! So out of the 3, who's your favorite, Jeremy, James, or Richard? I hope you had a great time off. Thanks, man, because this was, I think, just before I got back from Ottawa. Jeremy, James, or Richard. I like James because he's kind of like pedantic and reminds me of myself a little bit in that way. I like Richard too because he's very eccentric and also reminds me of himself that way. But Jeremy has to be my favorite just because he's a dick. He's a huge dick, and he's very open with what he has to say, and I always feel like he's not holding anything back when he does his reviews. Like if he really doesn't like something, he's not just gonna not say it. He's very open-minded, and I like that about him. Or open, you know what I'm trying to say here. I recently bought a 360 in Forza, and I'm really enjoying it, but I'm having trouble with drifting through, and I was hoping you could help. I keep over-drifting and spinning. I assume that has a lot to do with my tune and throttle control. But if you have any tips, please pass them on. Also, I was wondering if you'd be able to give one. If I would be able to give one of my tunes a try. If you'd be able to give one of my tunes a try to see if, like, someone who's a good drifter, and if you have any cars, you want to suggest cars, normal stuff, Scott. I don't know. I'm sorry I said your name, but yeah. So it's basically, I don't think it's your tune. It's just your throttle control or maybe how much power you have. So try bringing your power down. Let's say you're at like 600. Try bringing it to 550, and if it's still happening, try bringing it to 500. You know, because with less power, you have to do less throttle control. It's more just your steering work. It could be that too. It could be that you're not. You know, there could be a million reasons why you're spinning out. But as for your second question, you asked me if you send me a tune, but like I barely have time to make videos anymore, as it is. So and a lot of people want me to do this for them. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say no. I can't do that. It's not because, you know, I don't want to. It's just that there simply is not enough time in the day. I work 8 hours a day now. I wake up, eat, go to work, come back, eat, and go to bed. And it's my day. On the weekends, I make videos, and sometimes I play Xbox for fun, and sometimes I go out. So it's like it's very, 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 very minimal time. So I'm not trying to get sympathy from you. I'm just saying, like, I don't have time to do it. So that I apologize, but that's just the way it goes. And the last question for this week is very quick, and it's something a lot of people ask me. Shut up, you. Hey, I'm new to Forza, and I'm wondering how I can get 1,000 or 100% discounts on everything in the upgrade shop. You can get 100% discounts on everything except for wheels and bumpers. All you have to do is just keep playing with that make of car, or like if you it's for Mazda. So like if you play with Mazda enough, you get a level 5 or 4 or 6 affinity. I forget what it is, and then you get 100% off your upgrades. So yeah, that's it. And I want to thank you guys for watching this week. And again, I apologize if this is Call of Duty gameplay. I tried to get this out because I've been slacking with my videos. I took last week off just kind of as a and just trying to get used to my full-time schedule at work now, and I'm sorry for neglecting you guys. I'm gonna try to keep doing this 5 videos a week thing, but no promises. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.